What's up, everybody? My name is Justin, and welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Tears. I've gotten a really exciting bottle for you today. Today, we're doing some Canadian whiskey. This is the Found North Batch 9 Cask Strength, aged 19 years. Okay, so there is a lot of information to go over with about this bottle before we get into it. First of all, it looks awesome. Really cool looking bottle. I have had some samples of Found North before. This is the first bottle I have ever owned on my own. It's got a really cool like silver metallic wax. I did pop this about 2 weeks ago now, so it has been sitting open for some time. So it is coming in with an official age statement of 19 years, but I'm going to have to do a quick breakdown here for you on what's actually in there, because it's actually a blend of, I believe, 8 different whiskeys varying from 19 to 26 years old. So I'm just going to read this off the website for you real quick, so excuse me for looking around here, but it says it is a cornerstone and a like new expression on how they're gonna mix all these different old age proofs together. So it is a blend of a 19-year-old rye finished for over a year in ruby port casks, and a 23-year-old, which is a corn component, which are both aged in new American oak and bourbon barrels. 2 additional 19-year-old whiskey, one was a corn, one was a rye, as well as a 22-year-old corn and a 26-year-old corn component to round it out. So there's a lot going into this particular bottle today. What I've had from Found North in the past has been really, really nice, and it's coming in at cask strength, which is 124.6 proof. Now, this is their oldest release to date, I believe they said, and there was only 6,253 of these bottles released, so I'm very happy to have gotten one of these recently. I got it for $175, and really excited to try it with y'all today. So let's go ahead and pop this baby, get the nosing straight out of the bottle. Oh yeah, that you can tell that's gonna be complex. You can tell that's gonna be complex coming straight out of the bottle. I'm getting like a sweet raspberry pie with like some mint leaves on top. A really nice maple syrup note, like a Canadian maple syrup. A little bit of oak in there. It smells great coming out of the bottle. I'm super excited to try it with you all today. While we pour this out and get ready to nose this thing in the glass, if you guys could do me one huge favor for this big Canadian Day, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free for you. It means a whole lot for me in helping grow the channel. And if you really want to help support, get access to all of these videos early, get an awesome badge next to your name, go ahead and hit that join button down below. So, 19-year-old officially Canadian whiskey, but it has up to 26-year-old juice in here. So, really excited to try it. Let's get the nosing out of the glass. Yeah, that's like a dense, sweet raspberry covered in Canadian maple syrup. A little bit of minty notes on there. It smells like the flavors smell dense, if that makes sense. Like sometimes you'll get a flavor on the nose or a nosing or, you know, a smell, and it'll be like super bright and up front, but these all seem super dense and dark and like depthy and deep in it, so it smells really nice. Get a little bit of that wine note on there. Maybe like a hint of like a butterscotch or a cream, something like that. Okay. It smells really, really nice. It's really old juice. It is Canadian, so yes, it is doesn't age quite the same as something would down in Kentucky or Texas or something like that. It does age a little slower being Canadian, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be amazing. Everything I've had from them has been great so far, so I'm really excited to try it today. Got some really nice legs going. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the camera here, but they're nice and thick, so here we go. Cheers, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. That's so good. It's like the first time I sip whiskey, my first thought is not to break down all the different notes that I'm getting out of it. My first thought is do I like it or not? Is it really good or not? Is it bad? Is it exceptional? First impression is that was really, really good. So now let's try and break down some of the notes here. It's like if you had like a you know what it is? Here's what it is. It's like if you had pancakes covered in raspberries and maple syrup, and you mixed all that up and were eating it all together while sipping on some red wine. That's what I'm getting out of this. Raspberry covered pancakes with a bunch of Canadian maple syrup and you pound that, and then before you even finish swallowing that food, you're down in a little bit of red wine because you're in for a hell of a day. It's got a nice creaminess on there. Like it almost feels like a coffee creamer, not coffee like obviously not coffee flavor, but some of the like flavored coffee creamers that you can get. If it was like a French vanilla or had some kind of like a cinnamon vanilla coffee creamer or something like that. I don't get the mintiness on the palate that I got on the nose. That's what I remember out of the other Found Norths that I've tried, is I got a ton of really nice mintiness. I get it on the nose on this one a little bit, but not so much on the palate. So I think that's what I was expecting coming into this, and this is definitely a different expression than the stuff that I've had from them before. It's nice. It doesn't drink. Like, what's the proof? 124.6. It does not drink that hot at all. If I was drinking this blind, I might have guessed like 110. Something in there would probably have been my guess from the proof. It definitely doesn't drink that hot. The finish is probably more the wine notes. Maybe like there's maybe a twinge of like a dry oak on the end. Let me concentrate on the finish a little bit more on this next sip. Yeah, the finish turns into more of the wine note, and so you start off with that initial flavors that I told you, and then it kind of transitions a little bit into like the dryness of the wine, and then some of the wood comes in there, so it makes it feel like a dry oak a little bit, and it's very interesting. It's a very interesting drink. I like it a lot. So let's go ahead and officially rank this thing on the tier system today. Take another drink and it's gonna pop up. Hey, I got the point right this time. It's gonna pop up right there. All right, here we go. Drink it and score it. Yeah, that's really good stuff. I like it a lot. I think Found North is going to be, in the next couple years, one of the really big names out there in whiskey, like a lot of other brands. I think because it is Canadian, it doesn't get the love that it deserves, because, you know, most Canadian stuff that you get is just not up to par due to the aging requirements and all that stuff to make stuff in that colder environment. It's kind of looked over, I think, in the whiskey world, but Found North is one that I think is really going to be, if not already, coming to the forefront and be one of those sought-after bottles. I know a lot of more whiskey geeks and people who are into it a lot more really seek it out, but it's not like a huge name brand out there yet. So anyways, Found North, 19-year officially, but up to 26-year juice in there. Batch number 9. I got bottle number 2854 on the tier system today. One last sip. It's going on the A tier. It's going on the A tier for me. It definitely has the wine notes in there, but, you know, for me, wine finished whiskeys are very hit or miss. Some are absolutely amazing, and some are complete garbage. This one's in that amazing category, and for me today, it's going to go on the A tier. It's got to. Absolutely has to. If I had anything that I would wish it had a little bit more of, would be viscosity. I wish maybe it lasted a little bit longer on the palate, but everything else about it is amazing. I like it a lot. Really excited that I have this bottle in my collection. I actually bought this from, if you guys have followed my channel, my old favorite store got bought out. I've started talking to the new owner a bit. He's pretty cool. I'm excited to, you know, work and build a relationship with him. He gave me this bottle with a little bit of a discount to get it down to that 175. I'm not sure what the MSRP is. I think it's probably like 150 if I had to guess, but they're hard to find for less than 200 out there in the wild. So thank you to you, and hopefully we can keep that going. So Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review of the Found North Batch 9 Canadian whiskey, aged 19 years, with 8 different whiskeys in here, finished in a bunch of different barrels, and up to 26 years old. I'll see you for your next drink.